Hey, what's happening, guys? Today I'm gonna be showing you that Party Next Door sound, Post Malone sound, just that ambient singing sound again, kind of like the weekend video that I made, but a little bit different. And so yeah, a lot of you guys requested it, sent me an email, so here's the video. And also a side note, I'm gonna be making videos on a channel called Lucid Dreamers, and I will leave that link in the description. So please go subscribe to that. I will be posting videos from there, some studio shots of us, and yeah, basically I'll show all the people, the artists that I work with, in the process of that, and some studio footage. So here's a sample of what we're going for today.
Trash talk, left said you'll be right back. I know that walk. Since you said yes, I said oh no. Feeling guilty about some hoes after the show. And I've picked up some habits. Homie told me he just picked up a bad bitch. And she came with a package. Don't wanna put you down, so I ain't telling you what's happening. Shots have been fired. Shots have been fired. Shots have been poured, weed has been lit, I'm feeling high. Talking on the mess, telling me to clean up my acts. Talking on the mess, telling me to clean up my acts.
Okay, I'm not gonna play the whole entire chorus, but you get the gist of it. So this also follows the guidelines of some of my other videos, and I've talked about. So go watch those before this one. It'll help you out. But basically, so I'll solo track so we can really break down what I'm adding to this. So let me take all these off really quick, and we'll start. So here's the dry vocal.
Trash talk, left said you'll be right back, I know that walk. Since you said yes,
So it sounds completely different, obviously. So the first thing I always add, not always add actually, but it's a part of the Waves plugins, and it's called NS1. Here's what it is. Basically, it takes out a lot of background noise, because in a lot of situations that I deal with, there's some humming, hissing, or even headphone leakage of the music. Not leakage, I guess headphone bleeding is what it's called.
trash talk, left said you'll be right
And
back.
when you turn that up, it basically suppresses the background sound, and I like it a lot more than the Logic default noise gate. But you can use the default one if you want to, if you don't have the Waves plugins. But this one works really well, and I like it a lot. And I usually don't go above 30 because that kind of takes out a lot of the higher frequencies, which you kind of need. So after adding that, I put in my auto tune. You're not always gonna need auto tune, obviously, but the industry standard, you pretty much need it. So um, if you don't know how to use it, basically you click scale, major scale, and then you find your root note of the song basically. And if you don't know how to do that, just listen to it, and as the vocals are playing, you just change up the root note until it sounds good to you, with the response all the way down. Make sure you put the response, you drag it all the way down while you're doing that. Otherwise, you won't be able. There's no auto tune basically. The lower the response, or the more auto tune it is, basically, the more you drag it down. After that, here's what it sounds like.
Trash talk, left said you'll be right back, I know that walk. Since you said yes, I said oh no.
Some of you might not like that robotic sound, but I think it sounds good for this song. That's what I'm going for in this video. And after that, I added my channel EQ, just default channel EQ from Logic Pro. You can use any one you want. And you add in your high pass filter. So just click that, and in between 100 to 200 hertz, you always, that's like a rule of thumb, always cut that out, because that's the muddy sound that you don't need. And then what I do with these is basically I take out the frequencies that don't sound good. So what you do is you listen to a sample of the song, loop,
Right back, I know that walk.
and you take a little bit in between the 100 and 200 until it sounds bad to you.
Right back, I know that walk. Since you said yes, I said oh no. Feeling guilty about some hoes after the show.
It's really not that harsh on this microphone. A lot of microphones, you'll hear like a real nasally sound, and basically you just
Right back,
in between 100 and 200, in between 200 and 500, and then around 500, you just boost up these little frequencies until it sounds bad to you, and then you drop them down around 3 dBs.
Right back, I know that walk. Since you said yes, I've
So
said.
you can kind of hear that sound. It sounds really high frequency and just sounds bad. So then what you do is hold Command so this stays in place while you're dragging it, and then you just drag it down around 3 dBs just to take it out, and you do it again for 500.
Right back, I know that walk. Since you said yes, I've said oh no.
So here that doesn't sound good. So you drag it down around 3-4 dBs, whatever sounds good to you, and it's a little subtle. It's not going to be that crazy of a
Right
difference,
back, I know that walk. Since you said yes, I've said.
but the subtle changes they all go a long way. And after I added my channel EQ, I added my compressor, which is the CLA2A. Here's what it looks like. You only got to really worry about 2 knobs.
Right back, I know.
Your gain and your peak reduction.
Right back, I know.
And then I always turn the analog off because it it produces that little, the analog static sound that you don't really need unless that's what you're going for. Then by all means use that analog sound. And after that, I add in a Q10 EQ from Waves, and I add in this because sometimes after you add in the compressor, it boosts up those low volume or the low frequencies, which you don't want. And so I take it out again, which is in between the 100 to 200 hertz range. So you add in that high pass filter by dropping down this, clicking high pass, and then I take out the frequencies that's like right around 200 hertz because those are some of the mids that you don't really want. And then I add a low pass around 17K because you can't even really hear those frequencies at all. And then I like to boost it around this area, the 2 to 8K, and just slight boost because it gives you the higher frequency crispness to the vocals. Just sounds fresh. Here.
Talk, left said you'll be right back. I know that walk. Since you said yes.
Because in the Party Next Door sound, he's got basically a ton of higher frequencies and cutting out the lows, and it produces kind of a more thin vocal, I guess that's what it's called, because you're kind of losing the mids, but that's the sound that he goes for, and it's different than some of the other sounding artists out there. And after that, I added a multipressor, which is also standard with Logic, and I take out a little bit more of the lower frequency, but I boost up some of the mids just a tiny bit because we took them out before, so I add in a little more, and then around the 1 to 5K boosted a tiny bit, and then 10 to 20K boosted a tiny bit as well.
Get the Basamos after the show,
and then right here, this is your gain volume, so you can basically turn that up or down with the beat on to match it, to see if your vocals fit the right volume.
Since you said yes, I've said oh.
I already adjusted it before, so it's pretty much good. And then after that, I added my de-esser. This is also from the Waves plugins, and I love this de-esser so much. It works like a charm. Put on most of my songs, and this has a lot of sibilance in the song, so I'll play the part with it.
I know that walk. Since you.
It's right here. There's a ton of sibilance, and I'll play it without, and then with.
Since you said yes, I've said oh no. Since you said yes, I've said oh.
That's without, and then with on.
Since you said yes, I've said oh. Since you said yes, I've said oh.
That might be a little too much attenuation, so I'll turn down the threshold just a tiny bit because it's kind of taking out too much of the higher frequencies. You don't want to take out too much of it, kind of squashing it. And then after that, I send the track to 2 buses. Bus 1 is my Space Designer reverb, and this is where where my settings tend to be a little different than other people. So Space Designer default with Logic. I max this thing out 0 dBs. It's a shit ton. And then my bus, I only put it up to around -15 because I want that real ambient sound to my vocals, but I don't want it too much. Like I don't want it completely drowning in it. So that's why I send it to a bus because I can monitor the signal that gets sent. And here's how it sounds with that.
Get the Basamos after the show,
that real natural sound, which is perfect. Sounds like Party Next Door. And my second bus is my stereo delay, also default with Logic. You go to delay, stereo delay, and I put it at 33%. Sounds pretty good. And then my high cut 31 hertz, and then 220 low cut. And then you click these, and then
When I right back, I know
that gives a little more space. Delays the vocals to each side of the ear. It's a real subtle sound, but I like it a lot. It adds a certain character to it, and I put that around negative 9.8. But always change your settings. Don't always copy mine exactly. They're not always gonna fit. And then so that's it for my main vocal track. And then after that, my echoes. So this is where you might want your artist to go in there and do their ad libs, like echo each line. Kind of hard to explain, but listen how this echoes. So this line right here echoes the first line right there. And
I've picked up some habits. Homie told me he just picked up a bad bitch, and she came with a package. I wanna put you down, so I ain't telling you what's happening.
So those are basically the ad libs. And for these, what I do is I add in a lot more reverb and a lot more stereo delay. And on top of that, I add in an echo. And here's it's a standard echo, nothing special. My quarter note with 30% wet and around 60% repeat. And that gives it a real spacey sound. I like it. It gives it real ambient sound to it. And so nothing crazy special about that. And then as for the chorus, what I do with that is basically I record one main vocal track, just regular sounding, nothing special, with the same effects as the main verse.
Talking on a mess, telling me to clean up my eye.
Everything's the same for that. And then I go and have my artist record a second vocal track on top of that, but change the pitch of their voice. So on this one, I had him do a lower one. So listen to this.
Talking on a mess, telling me to clean up my act. Talking on a mess, telling me to clean up my act.
So you see there's a higher pitch vocal on top and a lower pitch vocal on the bottom. It really blends perfect together. It's almost like you can't even tell it when the beat's playing, but it adds a real nice sound to it. And then on top of that, there's the ad libs again. I'll solo the ad libs with the.
Talking on a mess, telling me to clean up my act. Talking on a mess, telling me to clean up my act. Talking on a mess. Talking on.
So those are my ad libs right there. And again, the same with the ad libs up here. I put a lot more reverb on, and here's the track right there. So I put in a lot more reverb, and then again I put the echoes. And these ad libs go on for the full 8 bars. So a cool little thing you can do to this is you split it up in half, and you pan some of them to the right, and then you pan some of them to the left. So it gives it a real different sound. So you got the first 4 bars of it pan to the right side in this case, and then the second 4 bars is pan to the left. Or fuck, I don't know, I'm lost. Pan one to the left, pan one to the right. It'll give you a different sound. It'll set you apart from other people. And this is probably one of my longer videos, but this is the tutorial that everyone was asking me for, and here it is. That's the full sound. I'll play it one more time. But please subscribe to this channel, like the video, and subscribe to all the links in the description. And I'll play it one more time, and thanks for watching.
Trash talk, left said you'll be right back. I know that walk. Said you said yes, I said oh no. Feeling guilty about some hoes after the show, and I've picked up some habits. Homie told me he just picked up a bad bitch, and she came with a package. I wanna put you down, so I ain't telling you what's happening. Shots have been fired. Shots have been fired. Shots have been poured, weed has been lit, I'm feeling high. Talking on a mess, telling me to clean up my act. Talking on a mess, telling me to clean up my act. Talking on a mess, telling me to clean up my act.
Productions.
Talking on a mess, telling me to clean up my act. Talking on a mess, telling me to.
Okay, that's a good enough demo for you guys. And please, once again, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to all the links in the description, and I will send you the Waves plugins. Thanks for watching. Peace out.